Is it time to go back to V8s? Is it time to go back to naturally aspirated? Is it time to go back to the biggest, loudest, fastest engines that Formula One can find?
To me, if it's all about entertainment, that's what you do.
Yeah.
Because a big part of the
love
entertainment to me was the noise.
Yeah, of course it was.
Can you... What is the first time that you ever remember being at a Formula One race and actually hearing it? Mine was 2008 in China, my first ever Grand Prix. Like...
Unbelievable.
You growing up around motorsport, you two. I'd never been to a race in my life. Then I got that job.
1984 Detroit Grand Prix.
And what engines were they running then?
That's a good question.
V10s?
It would be a mix. 84 was a mix of V12s and V10s.
And what's your first memory of like hearing that noise?
My first memory was I couldn't see the car because it was coming down the straight. This is in Detroit. And it was a long straight with a 90-degree left-hander. And I could hear the car, and I'm thinking, just through the noise, there's no way they're going to make that turn. There's no way. They're all going off. And what astounded me was the braking performance and actually braking so late. First the noise, then late braking, and actually every one of them made that turn.
Yeah.
And I was hooked. I thought, man... I thought, number one, I couldn't do that. If I'm driving that car, there's no way I could do that. And two, I was surprised that everyone did it. They all got through there.
And the noise.
Insane, right? What's your first memory of it?
88, Silverstone. So we paid for... My dad got us Friday tickets and forced me to go. So I was like, man, I don't want... Fucking, what's this shit? Like, let's go. So we went to... And so he got us general admission, and then I remember walking through the woodcut stand.
Yeah,
you know where the woodcut corner is, onto the old pit straight. Walking through there, and I think first of all like a LaRousse or something come past, and then a McLaren with Senna in it, and I was just like, "Fuck me, what was that?" Right, this thing come past so fast, and I was like, "How is that even on the track?" Exactly the same thing.
Yeah,
how is that even on the track? And now, like years later, when I haven't had to like be on the pit wall or in the garage during the race, I always go out, right, to remind myself. I go out when I'm at Silverstone to Beckett's. Have you ever stood at the side of the track at Beckett's?
I have.
It's very privileged, right? I mean, not in the grandstand because you're a bit far away. Like if you can stand where the marshals are, and I've done it a few times, it is insane. These things are like fighter jets on the
Absolutely.
on the ground. I can remember. Here's a good story, but I can remember we went to the not pre-ground effect, so the hybrid era, and went to the big tires and all the downforce. And I remember the first practice, both of our drivers. So I was at Williams, and both Felipe Massa and Valtteri Bottas. They go out, they do their first run in P1. I'm allowed to swear?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. They do their P1. They pull up outside the garage, you know, like the cars come down the pit lane, and they always point towards the pit wall. And then the mechanics pull them in. And both of them, so I used to listen to both of them, and both of them in stereo went, "Fuck me, it's fast round here now." Like through that thing. Yeah. And then I remember seeing Sergio in the paddock afterwards, and he was like, "Oh man, this is so fast through Beckett's now." It took them like all of Friday and a bit of Saturday morning to get used to it. It was that fast. It's unbelievable. I mean, you're pulling the first left-hander that you do on the entry to Beckett's, 7G, right? Fighter pilots train at 3.5. And some of them are black out at 4. These boys are pulling 7G on the left-hander laterally, right? Yeah. And then 4.5, even 5 probably, or 5 just before this rule change, into the next right-hander. Unbelievable.
So interesting, isn't it? Because like F1 has never been more popular. But I go to races with friends who've never been, and they go, "It's so loud."
Yeah.
In your head, your head's going, it's so annoying. Yeah. I wish you were here 15 years ago. Like this isn't it.
Nothing.
This is not nothing. It. And it's like
and for me, the crescendo at the start of a race.
Yeah. Around Monaco. Do you remember Monaco at the start of a Grand Prix?
Every car.
Bouncing off all the buildings. Man. We've got to find a way of getting that back into the sport. Because it's like F1 is amazing and it's so popular. Imagine if we now,
Had
into
that-
this world of
I
Formula
agree.
One,
I agree.
put those engines and that, you know, when
Yeah.
they were like,
Get
they were
rid
like
of the-
otherworldly creatures, the cars,
Yeah,
weren't they? They
yeah.
felt like alive. Now I think you look at them and you don't feel that. Like,
You feel less of it.
Well,
I think
they're
so.
so much bigger. I know we've gone a bit smaller with this generation, 200 mil, but they're still big cars. I mean, if you see them against an early 2000s car, 600 kilograms, those cars, right? You take like a little Formula 4 car now with 160 brake horsepower, so like 4 tiers down, the clue's in the name, Formula 4 from Formula 1. They're 600 kilos with 160 horsepower. These things were 600 kilos with like 900 horsepower.
Yeah.
These were
Absolutely.
machines.
Yeah.
okay.
2004, we had 968 horsepower out of a naturally aspirated V10.
And the big difference there was, and I don't want to play like, you know, current Formula 1 and all the rest of it, but the big difference there was you couldn't get a 16, 17-year-old step into those cars and be quick. Because it just, they were just like, my God, what have I got into here? And it took them half a season before they even got on top of it. You know, times were different back then, so they could have
You
done...
don't even get half a season now.
Like, yeah, you could have done 30,000 kilometers or whatever.
You get half a race for people to make their
4 or 5
decision.
races and you're out.
Let's talk actually about the drivers. We were talking about Mercedes before. I do want to sort of just touch on George Russell and Kimi Antonelli. I'd like to know how impressed you guys are with Kimi Antonelli, but I also want to know whether you think that what Mercedes have there is a driver pairing good enough for the car. Is that a driver pairing
Definitely.
to carry them through?
Definitely.
Totally, yeah.
Definitely.
Why?
100%.
Well, to me, look, at the beginning of the season, you always get better odds if you bet on the world champion at the end before the season starts. And for me, I thought George, when he was up against Lewis, who was one of the best ever,
Mm-hmm.
held his own. Probably more than held his own,
Yeah,
Beat him at
definitely.
the end.
Definitely.
right? Beat him at the end. So George definitely good enough. Won everything coming up through the lower formulas. And now you can see how good Kimi is relative to George.
Yeah, I still think like it will take a while. I mean, it goes back to what I just said, like putting a 16, 17-year-old in these cars or in the old cars, forget
Old
about
cars,
it, right? Nobody ever did it. They needed years, a lot more training. It's easier now. It's still hard, right? So Kimi, and don't forget, Kimi didn't have the comfort of kind of hanging around at the back of the grid for a year, right? Being unnoticed. He's suddenly in one of the biggest teams in the biggest pressure cooker environment. That's hard for him. And I think to survive as well as he's done and do as well as he's done and now be winning races. Okay, the race that he won at the start of this year was maybe a little bit down to, there was some misfortune in qualifying, I think, for George.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But Kimi won it.
But Kimi won it. Like George was there in the race without problem. Kimi won it.
And
so
for
he
me,
nailed him.
Miami last year, sprint weekend,
Yeah.
Kimi had never seen that track before. Put it on
Good
pole.
one. Good one.
You don't do that without talent.
Yeah.
Put it on pole.
He's very, very talented. I think he's very good.
I also like the fact that when he got his chance to drive the Mercedes, he put it in the wall. I know people will go, "Oh my God, I can't believe he did that." You remember that free practice session? That
Yeah,
weekend
I
they were
remember.
announcing-
I remember. Yeah,
Isn't
he was pushing.
Exactly. Isn't there's something great that he had the cojones to go,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for this.
And
Like,
Toto said the most ridiculous thing.
what did he say?
Oh, did you see how fast he went through that corner? Thinking, yeah, too fast. He crashed. For fuck's sake.
But also this season, when he it was too fast.
It was.
What would
But
David,
he was
Clearly.
David Coulthard would say he ran out of talent.
yeah.
That's exactly what happened. But like when he had the issue in Australia at the start of this season, and then he had to go out and put a lap in qualifying, having not had an opportunity, and he made it through. I mean, I thought for me that was like legendary. Yes, that was Senna, Schumacher,
He's good.
Vettel, Hamilton.
He's absolutely
levels.
good.
But also he's replaced Lewis Hamilton. Imagine someone going, "Oh yeah, you can replace a 7-time world champion in Mercedes."
Yeah.
Good luck.
No, he's done it. And he's great. Toto Gwen, who looks after their young driver program, done a good job with him.